My favorite anime overall is That Time I Reincarnated Slime. The reason it is my favorite anime is because of the emphasis put on the world, as well as the characters surrounding the main character. This includes the villains, the neutral characters, as well as the good aligned characters. Now, the reason it is my favorite is because it has a understanding of the world, and the characters all have an effect on the world. They help the world bloom in a way, and the main characters at the center of it, seeing it bloom. It's a very interesting concept that I've seen a lot of stories miss out on, and stories that have this kind of aspect to them are basically the ones that I love the most. Now, this could be a personal preference, but this is just a story that I feel like it belongs, Like it's not just a story of a single character, it's a story of a world. Given that, we're going to come to our main discussion today, is the world of One Piece. Now, One Piece has created a beautiful world with beautiful characters, mechanics, as well as beautiful story, like beautiful history, right? And much of the story, as much as we have moved from the beginning all the way to where we are right now, is kind of becoming a little too narrow for the scope of the world. Now, this concern really concerns me mostly with the Straw Hat crew, because the Straw Hat crew at the beginning had some level of individuality, which I'm starting to miss right now. The story seems to have moved from a crew achieving their dreams to a crew chasing after their captain's dreams. I understand the stakes are much bigger, but I would love to see that level of individuality that they had when they were a little smaller still be there when they exit. The reason I'm saying that is primarily because recently, even in the mangas, it's been a sole focus on Luffy and Zoro. The reason I say that is because anything cool that's happening is usually focused on those two members. Now, I'm not saying that characters don't have a good outbreak once in a while. So Nami saying no to Big Mom, that was a crazy outbreak. Robin showing her, Sanji calling Robin for help, that was also a crazy one. Brooks, Soul King, this one on Big Mom, crazy, insane. I'm not saying that those aren't there. There are moments that are there, but it seems to be more like the manga as well as the anime are focusing more on Zoro and Luffy. Now, while that's all fun and all right now, and we do get some really great action scenes out there. Honestly, crazy action scenes out there. But it kind of makes me feel like the other characters get neglected. And part of the problem could be just because of the way conflicts are resolved in One Piece. Now, the way conflicts are resolved in One Piece always ends up as a fight. Now, while that's fun and all, for a kids show, and to be honest, One Piece is still a kids show, I will say that, it has also grown with its audience. What I mean to say by that is that when One Piece started, it was definitely a kids show, but the audience that was there at that time eventually grew up, and Oda has also seen this, like that his fans are not just kids, they are also grown adults, right? And for that section of the audience, there is a way to still maintain level of hype while accommodating to that as well. Now, I don't have any arguments regarding most of the things that are happening in One Piece. I think that the story is going well, and to each story writer their own. But I believe some of the problems could have been solved in different manners to highlight the other members of the crew. Now, we have seen some instances of this. We've seen Chopper help Mocha out during Punk Hazard. We have seen Usopp fire the shot that took out the name. What was it? Her name was Sugar, right? Took out Sugar. We've seen a lot of different things happen, but there have been very small instances. So I think that opportunities for the other Straw Hats to shine would be a little bit more exemplified if, let's say, the solution to a fight being won was not a actual physical fight, but something along the lines of something else. For example, they could have been just thrown by an enemy into an unforgiving part of the sea, and it was the navigator's job to get them out. They could have been tested on their knowledge by maybe a labyrinth that they encountered that Robin had to stand out and basically get through. They could have been tested by certain incurable diseases outside of what they've shown in the series so far that Chopper could stand out. And again, like what I said, there have been instances of them doing this. When Nami got sick, we kind of saw that they needed Chopper's help to get her better. But even then, it wasn't exactly Chopper, it was Dr. Korea. And we have seen some instances of Chopper helping out, especially with the kid in Caesar, and the blood loss in Fisherman Island. But those have been very minute scenes where we have not exactly seen them at work, or they have not been the main focus, but the fight still has been the main focus. If I were to point out a standout character in each of them, it would have to be either Zoro or Luffy. I can't think of anybody else in any arc in One Piece where the standout character was either not Zoro or not Luffy. Alright, so that is my main problem with it. Even some of the fighting characters like Sanji, Usopp, even Robin to an extent, they've not stood out as much as these two characters, and I feel like their individuality has been robbed. If you look at the beginning of the story, the Straw Hats were basically a group of individuals trying to meet their goals as a collective. The entire promise of the Straw Hats was that, hey, I'm going to help you gain your goals, and you're going to help me gain my goals. That's basically it. But that idea has kind of like shifted a lot. And it's like everyone's helping to get Luffy's goals or Zoro's goals, and everyone else's thing is in the background. We haven't seen Sanji mention the All Blue all this time. Nami probably is shorting the rest of the world, but that has never been a focus ever. Usopp is obviously on a great adventure, but again, we have not seen his adventures part of side things. Robin has been a focus because that's the driver for the story that Ura kind of come up with. And the worst of all are Frankie and Brooke. Now, while Brooke has had some good moments here and there, especially one with Big Mom's, this one, standing up to Big Mom basically, Frankie has had none. And I kind of feel bad for him because he's the one character that I'm like, I think most of us can relate to the most, because he's essentially a builder, and that's what we essentially are as well. Like, as a society, we're kind of like builders. We build on things that we don't have. Frankie didn't get his abilities through devil fruits or anything else. He built everything that he is, and I kind of feel bad that Frankie's the one being left out, because he's the one I relate to the most. He's the one person who everything that he did came from him. There's nothing else. And it's insane that that guy is being left out, because I want to see a lot more about what Frankie can do. Obviously he does. He's the ship master. What was it? Shipwright. Yeah, that's right. He's a shipwright, so he would be the one fixing the Mary. So he's probably his work is probably ongoing, but he has literally, given the recent arcs with Vegapunk and all, he had the chance to shine, but they did not put a spotlight on him. They did not. Like, there was no way to put a spotlight on the engineer in a science arc. That is insane. But yeah, that's basically one of my main contentions. And even if the focus was, let's say, fighting, right? There are a bunch of fighters in One Piece. Robin is a good fighter. Usopp is a good fighter. He's not a physical fighter, but he is a sniper. Sanji is an amazing fighter, but the focus is never on them. Sanji has had like maybe one or two upgrades ever since the this one arc, ever since the time skip, and it's never been highlighted. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of things on Toei as well, and the entire thing of Toei having a Zoro budget but not an other budget. It makes sense because Sanji's action scenes are not animated as much, and they're kind of trying to draw less focus to Sanji. I don't know why, but they are. And honestly, even Usopp, who apparently just awakened observation haki, has only had one reference of him ever using the observation haki, and that too was in a movie. I believe it was in that I don't know which exact movie, but there's this one instance of Usopp actually looking through observation haki with Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji as well. So yeah, that has been an interesting thing. The reason it hurts me to see a world like One Piece focus so narrowly on two characters is because it has such nuance in the world. There's so many mechanics in the world that can be explored through the other characters, highlighting them, but there's no focus put on these characters who are incredible in their own right. Chopper is a freaking 16-year-old doctor who can cure incurable diseases. Robin knows the history of the world like it's all locked in her brain. Nami can freaking control weather patterns just like that. Just like that. Frankie is an unbelievable engineer. How are you not putting focus on these? Like, it's so hard for me to see this because of how diverse the world of One Piece is. One Piece as a world has shown it's like the literal engineer's dream. And we are putting the least focus on an engineer in this crew. To be honest, that's been insane, and it's something that I've had in my head for a while and have wanting to get out. I mean, problems could be resolved through so many other things, right? And the comparison to Slime is valid here because Slime's world is also very diverse, but it doesn't choose to focus on Rimuru, but it also focuses on the other characters. Rimuru by far is one of the most strongest characters in anime. By the time he gets to the end, he's basically a god. Okay, this is Slime spoiler. Sorry about that if you guys didn't know, but by the end of it, he's literally the one true god in Slime. By the end of it. But it chooses not to focus on this character, but it chooses to focus on the world and how he is influencing the world and how the world is reacting to him and how that is influencing that. And One Piece could also go along this line, and I think given Stora's narration so far, it could go very deep. Alright, that's about it. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know about your thoughts down below, because that's been bugging me for a while regarding One Piece, and I'd love to know some other avenues that the other Straw Hats could be explored down, because I believe there's a lot of potential in the crew. It's just they're not being explored. Yeah, if you like this video, consider leaving a like down below and subscribe to the channel. I've been Kurogami. I'll see you guys in the next one.